Radio अपना Frankfurt Okay, hello everybody. Hello. Welcome to our Indo-German live talk. Today we have three guests from Mumbai. First of all, please give a very warm welcome to Shraddha Kaul. Hello, Shraddha.
Hi, Stefan. Hi, Anjana ji. Hi, Raman. Hi, Jyoti.
Hi.
Then we have Jyoti Kapoor Das. Hi, Jyoti.
Hi.
And we have Samir Modi. Hi, Samir.
Hi, guys.
And please also give a warm welcome to my co-host. This is Anjana Singh from Amical. She's chairwoman of Amical e.V. in Berlin. Hi, Anjana.
Namaskar.
And we have Raman from Radio Abna Frankfurt in Frankfurt. Hello, Raman.
Hi, Stefan. Hi. Hi, everyone. And thank you.
Hi.
So it's a pleasure to be in call with all of us. Thank you very much.
And also, pleasure. You should start, Raman, please.
All right.
Go ahead.
So thank you. Thank you, Stefan, for giving me the opportunity to start this today. So, well, we have three guests today. So how about we start with Shraddha first? Hi, Shraddha. So,
Hi.
So, I mean, Shraddha Kaul, you're born in Mumbai, in love with movies since you were 4 years old.
Yeah.
And today you have been on screen for around 20 years. I mean, your first role in television was in year 2000, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
So, Shraddha, when you look back at your career today, what is the one highlight that you would like to mention to our viewers and listeners?
When I look back, the highlight is of my life in this career, in this profession which I've chosen, is I've met a lot of people who I've learned from and imbibed all their teachings from. I mean, being on set, being with script writers, being with directors, and that is one of the highlights of my life. And this profession has made me learn a lot more from so many different people, and I want to keep on learning more. It's a wonderful profession.
Yeah. So I think it's like other professions. You always meet a lot of people.
Yeah.
You see what's going around. So I mean, what motivates you every morning when you wake up that, okay, today is the day. So what is that motivation that keeps you going?
The motivation is I'm going to learn something new because being in this profession, I've learned, it gives you a lot of opportunity to learn. I have learned to ride an Activa, which I thought I would never get on because of, you've seen Mumbai roads. And I've learned, I've held a mouse by its tail and let it roll all over my arm because of a scene. I had to chant, I had to say these 10 lines, Sanskrit lines, for a film, and I had to say it in 10 seconds. It was Chandan Prabhasham Shasham Jalantam Shrimloke Dev Jasmutram Tam Padmanimim Sharanam Prabhate Alakshme Nashatam Tamrane Sudimati Sudipiram Upiran Vam Traimain Tribuanamatam Ramam Gundika Gurtara Bhagya Bhagina Pavite Bhuvi Bhavtas Alaksham Shriam Cha Kamalam Kamalan Cha Padmam Ramam Nalini Makaram Chamam Cha Shirojamarata Kumbhakaram Cha Vishnu Priyamati Sada Japtam Kwadukam. So I had to say this in 10 seconds. I mean, it was like a pranayama from me, and I keep on learning something new all the time. So I'm pretty happy, and I don't know what else I'm going to learn. Somebody's going to tell me to ride a truck, and I'm going to drive a truck, and I'm going to drive a truck. So this is a very it's different.
It's awesome. I mean, because a lot of time people see stars on screen and they say, well, this is an easy life and what people have to do. So, I mean, at the back, there is a lot of hard work that goes into it.
There's a lot of waiting. You wait a lot on sets rather than the filming time is very less. You actually wait. The scouting for work is more than actually filming for the work. So that is how it is.
I mean, now picking up on time there, but what you just mentioned. Now let's move to the 8.5 minutes that I've watched in the last days. Well,
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the short movie, Face It, the English short film. You played the lead solo role. 8.5 minutes. You enacting two iconic scenes from Robert De Niro's film. Now, first of all, congratulations on the award-winning performance there. I personally, I loved it.
Thank you so much. You're very kind to say so.
and I mean, Best Performance Award at Mirror Mountain Film Festival, Canada. Also, winner of the Best Actress Jury Award at the 7th Dada Sahab Phalke Award in 2017, and many more. Now, as they say, let's go a bit behind the scenes and ask you a question here now. So,
Yeah.
how did this project happen, and how did this opportunity came your way? And did you know that these 8 minutes or 8.5 minutes were going to fetch you so many awards?
As an actor, I've always been trying to look out for diverse parts. This was a part which just, I think, this person, Aditya Bharat Pawar, the director and the producer of this film, he just called me one day saying that I didn't know him. He just said, "Would you want to do this?" And I met him, and the part looked very interesting. They were really good. The script was really good, uh, and uh, and I'm enacting two scenes from Robert De Niro's films. One was from a Taxi Driver, the famous "You Talking to Me" scene, and the Raging Bull scene where Robert De Niro mounts Marlon Brando's dialogue. It was "You Charlie" scene from On the Waterfront, and
Okay, Shraddha is
That's good.
frozen. Shraddha?
yeah.
Okay, you have been
You're back.
frozen. The last sentence,
Yeah.
the last words couldn't be understood by the audience.
Yeah.
Connection. Am I there now?
Yeah,
Yes,
you're
you
back.
are
You're
here.
back. Yeah. Mhm.
Okay, so to be with that script for a month, and it was as close I could get to working with Robert De Niro, and it was one of the best things. And also, I would like to add that short film for the format of a short film gives so much of opportunity to actors, and to fulfill their. It gives a validation to their spirit, and to have new kind of work to do, and that it makes them look forward to it. And I think the short film is the format is wonderful, and also on this in this film the script was wonderful, and the production team was, I've seen how the director had worked, and it was just like
Shraddha, we
I
lost you.
just have fond memories when I think about it.
Yeah. So thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Stefan?
Yeah, Shraddha, great to hear that from you. I would like to ask Jyoti and Sami also about short films. So Jyoti, you are wearing many hats. The head of a director, of a producer. You're an alumna of the prestigious Film and Television Institute of India in Pune, and you have been the creative director of the development and production at Viacom 18, and you have been associated with films like Gangs of Wasseypur, Queen, Bag Milka Bag, Mary Kom, etc. But in your second career as a writer director, you have written and directed a film Chutney as well as Plus Minus. Plus Minus, I think, has 12 million clicks on YouTube. Really, really a huge amount. So, what is your view on it? What is the job you like most? The job of a producer, the job of a writer, or a director, or you can't decide?
So my first career actually is writer director. My first career actually is film editor because that's what I trained in at film school, and the corporate job just happened, very serendipitously. I didn't plan on it. It just so usually film institute, especially people who are trained. I'll just let you in on a secret. We used to be these very arrogant, egoistical people, who say, "Ki, either you make a film," because people who go and do jobs in production houses or corporate houses or studios are just sellouts. They don't know how to make a film, so they've gone and they've gotten a job. In Hindi, we say kursi pakadli. It's like you've just gone and got a chair and you've sat there and you've got a cushy job. So we used to look down on jobs in studios or production houses. And out of the blue, this opportunity came up, and they basically told me, just see if you want to do it, and you can leave anytime you want to. And of course, they were giving like this really good monthly salary, which is great for freelancers because you're used to kind of struggling, finding work, convincing people, getting a producer, getting the funding. So when someone comes and tells you you're going to get X amount per month, and see if you like it, and if you don't like it, you can leave anytime, it seemed like a nice, comfortable kind of proposition. And it was great because I learned a lot. So when you're a filmmaker on the outside, trying to make films, you really have no clue about how a studio works or how a production house works. What mathematics is at play? What do they think of when they agree to do a project? And that was great because it's a lot of, like Shraddha keeps saying, our industry is something which just gives us opportunities to learn all the time. So it was a great learning experience. I was there for 3 odd years, and it was fabulous, of course. And we met. I made a lot of lovely friends all over the world because of my job at Viacom, which gave me a lot of opportunities to also travel to different festivals, meet a lot of new people, new directors, new talent, new producers, collaborate with people across the world. So for me, that was a great learning experience. But then you come back to the fact that you're a storyteller. So I think my forte and my love and my passion really is telling stories. And I keep saying, we're again very lucky that we can just tell whatever story we want and people pay to watch it. It's like it's like the best job in the world. You can, somebody who wants to be a liar in real life but they can't lie, but they just come into storytelling, and either they write a book, or they act, or they direct, or they make a film or something, or make a play, and whatever lies they have and whatever stories and whatever fantasies they have inside them get a platform. So it's also a great way to be healthy, to just stay healthy, and all your deep, dark, or not, or your crazy ideas all find an outlet. So yeah, for me, Stefan, I mean, I'm happiest when I'm telling my stories and having that opportunity.
Samir, what do you think? What makes you happy?
So basically, see, while we are sitting amongst talent and creators, where my focus is in trying to provide the platform and take short films to people wherever they are. So what really gives me joy is, frankly, when the the films that we put out are really appreciated by audiences, and when the film goes across platforms. So apart from the internet, now we're taking short films across the mobile platforms. You're taking them to theaters, television, and as we try and reach out to more and more audiences and expose them to this format of content, which is short films, which is something which I really personally love. So it just makes a lot of sense and gives a lot of joy when we are able to see that the dreams of these creators who are creating these short films, and which unfortunately, and for most people, and it definitely does not apply to the two women here, but their short films have generally not really been found out by people, even though they are good in content. And if we play a small role of a catalyst trying to get some audiences to that content and generate revenue for those filmmakers, I think that is the biggest joy that we can get. And I think the other option is, as in when we keep on doing new stuff, so trying to do new platforms. We started off with YouTube. Today we are on a number of platforms already, with a number of OTT players here in India as well as globally. And something that I can very pleased to share even on this platform today is that as soon as early next week, we will be launching our own OTT platform for short films.
Oh,
Oh, amazing.
Wow.
fantastic.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
That's good news for all
Thank
of
you.
us.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think that is a good combination now to talk about short films and career. Shraddha, I have a question for you. So, what role did it play in your career that you have been the lead in Face It in this short film? We were just talking before about it. And so, yeah, what did it help you in your career?
Yeah, it helped me a lot because it helped me in polishing my art as an actor, and it gave me a lot of confidence because with the especially with the scenes, you want to do so many different kind of roles, and this was just out of one in a blue moon that a role like that comes across, and I jumped at the opportunity, and I'm very happy that I did it, and yeah.
Yeah, so because we would like to learn more about your next step in your career, but I think Raman and Anjana have questions for that part. So Raman, you want to go?
Maybe Anjana ji, would you like to?
तुम पूछ सकते हो, है ना?
Okay, so I'll then start on this part. Yeah. So now, Shraddha ji, question to you now. So you have been an actress on stage. You have also acted in many movies and many TV programs. The latest one is Breathe Into the Shadow, with none other than Junior Bachchan himself playing a role into that part. So would you like to tell our viewers and listeners more about this show and your experience while shooting for this?
The show, the show is such a fantabulously written show, and to work with such a team of talented, writers and director, and you want to be part of such exciting projects. And the show, it's got such a stellar cast, and the performances are wonderful. And Mr. Bachchan is really a very down to earth guy. And I learned a lot being on the sets, and you always learn a lot from various different directors when they issue directives to other actors, and you learn, and you're consciously learning, also subconsciously also you're learning. And this was one of the projects that that helped me open my eye to a lot of different kinds of things.
Yeah. Anjana ji?
या श्रद्धा जी, मेरे लिए आज बड़ा खास है क्योंकि मैंने जर्मन जो वर्जन है ब्रीथ का उस अपनी एक कलीग के साथ मैंने उसका अनुवाद किया। और मुझे ये मतलब जब मौका मिला मिलने का आपसे, तो मुझे लगा मेरे पास इतने ढेर सारे सवाल हैं, क्या मैं सबसे पहले पूछूं?
पूछिए ना।
और सबसे पहले तो मैं जानना चाहूंगी कि ब्रीथ की कहानी में आपके लिए क्या खास था, और ज़ेबा का किरदार वो आपको खुद कैसा लगा, और उसमें आपको क्या खास दिखा?
Let me translate it in English for our audience. Yeah. So yeah, Anjana ji basically mentioned that she has been one of the persons behind putting the subtitles in German for Breathe, which was launched in Germany as well. And now the question to you, Shraddha, is what is so special for you about Breathe? And did you see, how did you see your character of Zeba into this series?
Stop.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear the question. Your screen was freeze and I couldn't hear it.
Okay. So the question is, what is special for you in the whole series of Breathe? So what is so special about it for you as a person? And then how do you see your character of Zeba in this series?
Zeba, Breathe is, I've seen season 1 and I was very enamored with the content, and then when you find the casting director telling you that it's Breathe season 2 and that you're going to get audition for it, and I jumped at it, and being in the cast was wonderful because because of the director and the script, and the script was wonderful, and the scenes are wonderful, and Zeba's scenes, though they are, I think, the.
Radha, you're
I've never done such a part before, and are you there?
Yes, please.
You're back. You're back. Okay.
Yeah, I've never done such a part before, and it was wonderful because the way he was directing me and the way we were doing it, it was just a different kind of an experience.
Anjana ji?
Yeah. सबसे पहले तो मैं ये बताना चाहूंगी कि ये सबटाइटल्स नहीं था, ये उसकी डबिंग के लिए था.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And I also want to say is that, sorry I'm interrupting, but I also want to say that I use a lot of my expressions in it, in Breathe, to get my emotion across. So that was a learning experience for me. I mean, at what I could do as an actor. So it was different.
आपका सबसे प्रिय किरदार क्या था ब्रीथ में या है?
So which one was your favorite character in the series Breathe?
I think I loved all the characters. All the characters are so well defined. I mean, there is sometimes a film or a movie, and then you say all the parts were good, and you remember every part. You remember each and every person who was there, and you remember the person who was the childhood friend of the character played by Abhishek Bachchan ji, and you remember every other part. You remember Pritpal Singh. I mean, all were just fantabulous. It was it was casted so well. The script was so good, and everything was memorable. And I watched the show at back to back, all the 12 episodes. It was not. I was so into it. I was at first I thought I was like, okay, I'll watch it, but then it was just so wonderful. As an audience, I was really floored, and as an actor, I'm really proud to be a part of it. And it's great to be on the Amazon Prime family.
एक चीज मैं और जानना चाहूंगी कि भारत में जो मैं देख रही हूँ जितने भी क्रिटिक्स मिले हैं वो उतने अच्छे नहीं है जितना जर्मनी में उसको अच्छा क्रिटिक्स मिल रहा है। तो क्या कारण है? क्या भारत की जनता ऐसे सीरीज नहीं देखना चाहती है आज भी? क्या उनको हॉलीवुड स्टाइल के सीरीज नहीं पसंद है? क्या कहती हैं इस पे आप?
Translation in English first. So Breathe is much more appreciated in Germany as compared to India. So what is the reason behind this according to your understanding? I mean, is the Indian audience still not ready to see the Hollywood style of characters and the series that are launched in India?
No, I think people are open to new. See, I am hungry to do great, diverse parts, and I think the audience is hungry to see diverse kind of plots. And Breathe is a very great example of this. And there are few people who say that they think otherwise, but I think in general the public really loves the show, and you always want to see engaging content, and Breathe is an engaging content. And with the OTT platforms, the kind of content is which is coming is very different, and it's a pick and choose for the audiences, and it's wonderful for the content creators and for the audiences to the audience is a hungry tiger, and the OTT platforms are just giving diverse content, and that is really wonderful. And I don't think a few people may say so otherwise, but I think on the whole, because I really liked it and I wanted to watch diverse content, and this was very, very great.
Yeah. One thing I would like to just add for the audience here. Initially, I made a mistake. It's not the subtitles in German. The series is available in German language and it was dubbed in German language. So when our viewers and listeners are interested, they can actually go to Amazon Prime and also watch it in German language. Yeah.
And if I may just add here, Shraddha, I actually binged the entire show over one weekend, one Saturday night, and by Sunday early morning, me and my wife were done with the whole show.
Wow.
Wow.
And you liked it, obviously. Otherwise, you wouldn't have.
I mean, we kind of traded our sleep to complete the show.
It is one of a kind of a show. It's just such shows, it's one of those shows that you really want to watch, and it's the characters are so very different, and you remember each and every character. I mean, how rarely do you find something like that on screen, and you identify with the characters, Abhishek Bachchan's character. It's really wonderful.
Yeah, there were at least 3 episodes when we decided to go to sleep, and then after the cliffhanger, we just decided one more, and we watched that one too.
It's. I have to admit, actually, I don't have Amazon Prime membership now. But after listening to this, I'm actually gonna get the membership today, and I'm gonna watch this one now. Yes, it's really interesting to listen to that.
It's very interesting.
मेरे साथ क्या है कि मुझे ऐसे सीरियल्स इतने नहीं पसंद है, वैसे कोई भी सीरियल्स और फिल्म मैं बहुत कम देखती हूँ, लेकिन इसको जब मैं ट्रांसलेशन कर रही थी अपने पार्टनर के साथ, तो मैं उससे पूछती थी, क्योंकि वो मुझसे पहले देख लेती थी, मैं उससे पूछती थी अभी आगे क्या हुआ।
हाँ, यही था अभी आगे क्या हुआ,
आगे क्या हुआ।
Because my family was saying अभी क्या हुआ, क्या होगा, what is going to happen next, it just kept you on your toes, and you feel so bad for the character, just so bad.
So I think it's an interesting part that the viewers and listeners are also listening to this. So yeah, I think it has motivated me to go for it, and I'm pretty sure it will motivate others as well. Yeah.
Sami, I have a question for you. So you just revealed the secret that you will launch your own platform, your own OTT platform, Pocket Films. So,
Yes.
can you tell us a little bit more about the content? So, I guess that will be the films we have now on YouTube under the label of Pocket Films. Will it be more or less the same, or do you also plan to have series there, even if it's short series? You like maybe like on TikTok or so, where you always also have shorts. What is the plan? Can you tell us a little bit
So
more
yeah,
about that?
initially when we launch, we're going to, of course, launch with a part of a curated part of our existing library on
Mhm.
YouTube, because I think we have a very large library on YouTube itself. We currently distribute almost 5,000 videos on YouTube. So on our platform, we are going to curate and pick out some of the uh, pick out the content which is more addressing the need of the audiences today. And then over time, we are of course open to series as well. But one thing is something that we definitely don't want to do is we don't want to do TikTok type content. We basically, I think I'm proud to say we differentiate ourselves as filmed entertainment. So we're not looking at just a random video made by anybody. I mean, we are not the platform for that. There is nothing to comment on how good or bad that is. I mean, TikTok has many millions of viewers over there, but that's not the platform or the kind of content on our platform. We are all about content which can be defined as a film, which may be shorter in duration, but at the end of the day, it has to be a film. It has to tell you a story, and that is what we look at. Of course, we are open to series. We're open to documentaries. I think documentaries is one form or format of content which I still feel is highly underexplored in India and has got great potential.
Mm.
But yeah, so that's the aim. We want to do that, and then going forward, the aim is also to get a lot of international short films and expose our Indian audiences to that kind of content as well. So it's more of taking India out through our platform and then trying to get good content from all over the world onto our platform for audiences in India.
And will it be like a pay-per-view or
So
as
initially we are going to go with a completely AVOD model. So it
Mhm.
is free to view,
Mhm.
and revenues will be generated through ads. Over time, when the time is right and when we have such kind of premium content is when we may explore freemium, but we'll probably never go completely subscription. We're looking at somewhere a hybrid version of free and subscription based model, but that is much later down the line. Initially we are focused only on advertising based revenue generation and free for the viewers.
Mhm. Jody, what have been your experiences with the two short films you have written and directed? So the last one was so successful. So what did you do? What did you throw into the cage to the lions so that they came all and then watched your film?
No, I think the actually Chutney is even more
The first
successful.
one was much more successful.
I think it's got 21 million views or something. So
Oh,
it's,
okay.
or something. So it's like a really, it's kind of hit the roof. I have no idea. I think it's, so I keep saying this everywhere. I
Jyoti,
think it's intention.
if I may
Hanji?
interrupt, Jyoti,
Yeah. Yes, Samir.
you are grossly mistaken. Chutney is not 21 million views, it is 120 million
Oh,
plus
sorry,
views.
Oh
sorry.
my God.
I'm sorry. You know, we are the whole I'm calling myself a struggling filmmaking community is always so poverty struck in our heads that we can't even say 100. You know, we can't say million, we can't say all this. We're stuck still in that. I'm sorry, Samir. Thank you so much for correcting me, and and it's in all in my favor. But yeah, 120 odd million. So yeah, but I think it has just to do with the I mean we so the story, like I've shared with you earlier when we've screened it also at in Berlin with at a festival, is that there's a Hindi short story by a very eminent writer, Bhishma Sani, which we took the rights of, and his daughter very generously gave it to us, and then we developed it, contemporized it to make it a story of today set in Delhi. And I think that we had one of our writers is Avnish Mishra, who's very good with language and with words. So he added a lot of beautiful flavor to the dialogue. It's mostly all monologue. It's actually a monologue, really. It's discussed character which has a monologue and just interrupted by a few flashback scenes or by Rasika's expression. So I think that, and when I was writing it, it just, I've just been very blessed. I think that I'm able to see a film when I'm writing it, and it's quite organic. I don't need to struggle over it. The same thing happened even with Plus Minus. In fact, was I think I just the minute I heard about that character, from the time I heard of the character to the time I finished writing the screenplay was like 2 hours, because I did not know of that main protagonist. And one of my assistants came and said, "Do you know of this guy?" And I said, "Oh, isn't it a cricketer or whatever?" And he said, "Please research." And then I just Googled, and from the time that I Googled to the time that I got inspired to write the story and finished writing it, writing the script was 2 hours. And I genuinely cannot take credit for that, because I think it's just the universe which wants to tell a story, and you're just the medium to do it. For Chutney also, I think, we just, we had a story and we kind of said, okay, we want to make it today's story. And when I started writing the screenplay with the flashbacks, it just all happened. Luckily, Large Short Films came on board, funded it, so we could take a crew to Delhi, do a shoot. We did the post, we did everything. A lot of people, I mean, all of us, all the technicians worked for free, and the actors worked for free. And we just stretched the dollar, really. We just kind of, everyone put in, I think it's intent. You just put in everything and you leave it to the universe. And nobody thought it would become this thing. When we made the film, when it came out, there was no sign of a Filmfare short film category at all. It happened much later. And so it's all serendipitous. I mean, I just feel I'm just at the right time at the right place. And you just trust to the universe that if your intention is right, and you put in your 100% hard work, and not kind of look at somebody else and say, "Arey, but why are they getting this and why am I not getting it?" It's just different people have different journeys to take, and you reach wherever you have to reach, and you have to be grateful for what you have. I wouldn't say satisfied. I'll say grateful. Nobody should ever be satisfied, but they should definitely be grateful, because out of that gratitude, I think more opportunities come. I think Shraddha as an actor will totally agree with this, because I think as
I do agree
technicians,
with
yeah, yeah, we always feel very grateful for opportunities.
Raman?
Yeah. So I mean, now I would like to actually connect all three of you. So what I am seeing on my screen here is one actress who has had success with the short film, and then a successful writer, producer, and director of short films. And we also have an entrepreneur, a successful distributor of the short films. I mean, I come originally from India, and as a childhood, it's always about those big characters. Yeah, it's always about those big movies, and you want to see those movies. You want to be part of those movies. So, how did the interest come into this short movie section? So, I would actually like to start with Shraddha here, and maybe after that, Jyoti, and then Samir. I mean, how short movies? Why? Shraddha.
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question? The connection
Yeah.
yeah.
So the question is, I mean, it's always about the big screen, big movies. Yeah, you as a child, you would always say, yeah, I want to be on the big screen, like part of these big movies. But then, how the passion for the short movies developed for you?
It was not about a short. It was more about the part. I mean, I'm more drawn to the part, irrespective of the where it is screened. It does not matter to me. And the part was engaging. The story was engaging, and that's what compelled me to do the film. And that's, I think that's why you I think you liked it as well.
Yeah.
And I won't say short films or want to be engaged with it and would love it. And short films are very great in a way to showcase that, because you have such diverse content. You have, because unlike a theatrical screening where you have those big blockbuster masala films, and which only get screenings for months on 2-3 months. The platform of the format of a short film, and on a platform like an OTT, and it gratifies both the content makers and the and the audiences and the actors as well. It just fulfills a dream. You have such different, diverse parts to do, and it's just it's wonderful.
Yeah, no, thank you. Now, I always feel about short films one thing. I mean, as they say in Hindi, it's chota packet, bada dhamaka. It's a short packed film where a big message comes out in a very nice way. So, with that, I mean, I come to you, Jyoti. How did you end up being in the world of short films?
Uh, so actually, I made a short film in 2002 when there was. I mean, at that time, YouTube also wasn't like a big deal, and I just had my baby, and I thought, and I was a graduate of the Film Institute, and I saw people, doing work around me, and I thought, my life is over. I'm never going to make anything in my life. I've got this baby, and I'm just this, mummy now. And my husband has shot the first digital film of India called Urf Professor, and everyone was calling him, to talk about camera formats and all this. It was shot on DV. And I'm listening to him having these conversations, and I kept thinking, I can use him to just, do something. And I wrote a small script. It had Raghuveer Yadav in it and Viju Koteji and people I'd worked with. And I kind of wrote a script, and I kind of took money from my dad and from my husband, and I just kind of did all this jugaad, we call it. I think Indian films or short filmmakers just they coast on jugaad. Jugaad is how do you translate jugaad into English?
There is no translation for jugaad.
Yeah,
There's no it's basically using whatever facilities, being really
Does it mean
resourceful.
hustle?
Thank you.
I would actually translate it more like make it happen. Yeah. So
yeah, it's a hustle. It's resourceful. So and then I made that film, and that film actually had its, I just made it, and I did it as an exercise, and it went, premiered at Melbourne. It played at Female Eye. It played at Cinequest. It played at a lot of places. And I kind of got validated that, okay, you can tell a story. Again, it's a very, very commercial. It was not at all RTE or anything, because I'm a very firm believer in the narrative, beginning, middle, and an end. And you give the audience something which is consumable, in that it was a 10-minute film, and it is a 10-minute film, and it's just, that's what it is. Then, of course, life moved on. I did other things, and my corporate job and stuff. And even with Chutney, actually, Tiska and I met over a feature film story, and she had read this play, and she had done it as a monologue, as a theatrical monologue. So she said, can we do something with this? And it was exciting. So we just did it, and it was easier to make a short film than to make a feature film. You kind of just do it. And it is like what Shraddha says, it's a show reel really for a director's talent, for an actor's talent, for, different people. Also, it doesn't, because short films, the budgets are so small, you're not, and you can't pay people. So you can take favors by saying, it's 3 days work, it's 4 days work, just come. Or it's 2 days work, just come. It's like people will still go out of their way. You should not really do that for a feature film. I mean, it's kind of taking advantage of people. But for a short film, we really exploit people. That we just say, it's just 2 days work, please come. And people also oblige you, and they say, chalo, I know what to do. And then there's a promise ki, when we make a feature film, we'll remember you did this for us. So, we'll cast you again. So there are all these carrots that you're kind of, presenting to an actor also. I'm sure Shraddha's faced a lot of that. And I don't know how many she can,
But I don't think, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I don't think short films are, people have looked really in a derogatory way to a short film. But I believe that it's got so much of...
No, it is. It is. No, it does. Because in that, it's literally like, the way, I mean, I think making commercials or ad films, people who write, copywriters who do that, in 30 seconds, they're selling a product, and, they're telling a story, and they're doing it. And that's great. I mean, today there's a Nike ad which has gone viral all across the world, which is superb. It's about sports, and I'm getting goosebumps just even talking about it right now. And it's such a cool storytelling. And that there is a story in that ad, So I think anybody who can manage to pack what you said, chota packet, bada dhamaka. It's a small package, but it's a bomb. It's great. So it's very challenging. There's a different kind of challenge in doing that.
Yeah.
So I think it's also an evening of revealing secrets. So I think I'll also share with you guys, because I I'm very, very fond of the Indo-German Film Week. I'm very fond of all of you here. So Plus Minus, the short film, is based on a certain character. And I've also developed a feature film on that character, which is, it's got a female protagonist. But there's a feature film that's going to come out, hopefully we can get the title Plus Minus. But yeah, so it's based on that. And that was, again, sparked off by a producer who saw the film, the short film, and said, you need to make a feature based, the background of this character. And we did. And I thought I was done and over with it. I mean, once you tell a story, it's finished. But there's somebody who has the faith. So again, it was not the filmmaker who had any aspiration to take it forward, but it was a producer who kind of is an enabler. Again, like Sameer is an enabler, who provides that resource, the platform or the funding to actually empower a storyteller to tell a story. So I'm really waiting for Sameer's platform, really. I'm going to spread this everywhere. Whenever you give me the green signal, Sameer, you'll have people knocking on your door.
Yeah.
We just hope that once we want to get it live, and then yeah, there are lots of other plans as well in what we want to do. But yeah, small steps, baby steps. That's what we want to take next week.
Yeah.
By launching the platform.
Yeah. So I mean, moving to you now, Sameer. I love the way you describe yourself on social media. You go big on short films. Yeah. Now, I mean, again, the part comes here, the big film market, a lot of competition there, a lot of distributors out there. So how did you decide to come up with the short film platform for yourself?
So, I mean, see, number one, a caveat which I generally make on any forums is that I am not a creator, I'm not a storyteller. I am first a businessman. And in my earlier avatar of the company, what we were doing, we were placing people into jobs within the film and media industry. And as one of the key, I used to understand and talk to candidates a lot. And any candidate for any job that came to me would typically in their resume say, I have edited a short film, I've directed a short film, I've acted in a short film, I've done this for a short film. And I admit, I was like, "Ye short film kya hai? And what is it that you do with these films?" And then, they said, "No, we just acted. It is kind of refreshing our talent, and then it's a show reel, and that's about it. But it's our aim is to do that and then move on to bigger things in life." And then I asked a few of them to send me their short films, and I saw, I mean, you've created something. Why is it lying in somewhere in a drawer? And that's when YouTube was just about launching in India. And I kind of thought, that's an opportunity here. There is so much of talent which has created so much of good content. And here's a platform which enables me to take this content to people.
Yeah.
And that's when we decided to, launch our channel on YouTube. You're probably one of the first 5 partner channels for YouTube in India, and the number one for short films. And that's when the journey started. And then, the more I saw the new short films that were coming to us, and the more I really loved the whole idea of how much you can convey in a short duration of time, and simply understanding that there is so much talent there. And this is something I'm talking about 2009 and 10, when the production tools and the costs and everything were the costs were higher and the tools were not available, and yet people were making those films. I mean, there was not a mobile phone which you could just pick up and shoot a film. And yet there was so much talent which was creating such good content. So I think from those days, as a creative community and the ability to produce the content, we've seen a substantial change. But I think that's where the core, as they've been saying, is the storytelling.
Yeah.
And the storytelling was something which attracted me to it. And I thought, bottom line is so much talent available. There is an audience for it. Let me try and find the audience, marry the two, and see if we could, share wealth with the creators as well. So since the day we launched, we've always had the principle that we want to take the creators along the journey and make them share the success of their film. So if their film succeeds, they definitely get a share of the revenue. And that's been our model since day one.
Yeah. No, I mean, great work by all three of you. I always, as I said, I mean, Chota Packet Bada Dhamaka, there's a lot of message, a lot of good work that goes into these short films. So thanks a lot for promoting short films for all of us. And thanks for bringing it to us. Yeah, with that, I'll give back to Stefan. Stefan.
Yeah, we very much looking forward to Samir. You will curate also 2 short film programs in the meaning of that we will have 2 programs which are curated in a feature film length, so like 90 to 120 minutes, packed short films, the best, the selection of best films from your platform, or maybe even films which are not on your platform yet. I don't know. So we haven't spoken exactly about which films will be in the package, but yeah, looking forward to that. That will be in our film week from the 24th to 30th of September. I don't know if you want to add something to that.
No, I mean, just thanks for this opportunity. It feels wonderful when, we partner with festivals like yourself and we are able to kind of package some of the good content. And we typically try to do a theme, as you are aware, and then package it and send it to festivals. It's just our way of giving back to the creators who trusted us with their films. That here is one more opportunity where your film is going to international festivals, getting a different audience, and just reaching out to more markets. So the whole intent is just that. And as I said, when I was there last time in Berlin, and we've seen that there are audiences who are actually interested in Indian short films. And, the whole thought that our content, small short films, which may otherwise not get discovered by audiences in Germany, in Berlin, are getting that kind of viewership and audiences through festivals like yourselves.
Yeah, and I was every time we have had, so I think now we have it for 2 years now. I was so surprised about the great short films which have been in those programs. It's very surprising, very well-made film. So I really can recommend to everybody to watch that. Also, if nobody of you have watched Face It so far, please watch it, and also Jyoti films. But Jyoti, I have another question for you. You already mentioned you're working on your feature film now, which means with the, how can I say, with the your awarded short films, I think have moved you forward, have moved your career as a writer and director, so that you now doing your first feature, correct?
Yeah, I also think it's simultaneous because I have a lot of short film scripts which I still want to make, and they can only be made as short films. So there's no way that I can corrupt that and stretch it and make it into a feature. So those are there, but then I think every writer director or every writer who also writes film does all these different formats. So while like Chutney also, like I said, happened because Triska and I were discussing a long format feature film. So and this was kind of an offshoot. So that is something which is happening. But yes, because a producer saw plus minus, it's a very real payoff of making the short film is that there's someone who's enabling me to make it into a feature now. Make not that exact story, but inspired by that short film, we will be making a feature film. So yeah, I mean that's an opportunity that came very directly and very positively out of a short film. Yeah.
Can we have that for next year's Indo-German Film
I
Week?
hope so. I hope. Stefan, I'm always looking for an opportunity to come visit your festival. You know that. All my friends, I just love the vibe at your festival. It's very warm. Yeah, it's lovely. It's home, and
it's home.
And, I've come there with my kids and they've been like, so when I told them, so Stefan, my children also say hi to you because they remember you completely. So
no, definitely. That was really big fun. And also looking forward, maybe Shra, you will be part of season 3, if there is a season three of Breathe, then maybe we can have a premiere of that next year. Yeah. But also, Anjana and Raman, maybe you have more questions.
Anjana ji, you are on mute.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
ज्योति से है। ज्योति जी, आप जो है 2018 में प्लस माइनस बनाई थी, 2017 में चटनी, और उसके बाद अभी तक कोई शॉर्ट फिल्म नहीं आई जो धमाका करे। तो नेक्स्ट धमाका आपका क्या है? शॉर्ट फिल्म।
So the question is for Jyoti. In 2017, you made the movie short film Chutney, and in 2018 Plus Minus. So since then, there has been no short film coming out from your side. So no dhamaka happening. So when is the next dhamaka coming?
I'm hoping it's so. One dhamaka is this the virus that's basically handicapped the entire planet. So I'm glad I had nothing to do with it. But I think that has really handicapped all of us, especially filmmakers, because shootings require such a people-heavy setup. You know, I mean, of course we've seen some brilliant content. We've seen it. Where people have, you know, actors especially, I think they've just been so proactive. Actors all over the world have just picked up, you know, and shot with their own cameras and done their own lighting and done their own makeup and, you know, tackle this head on, just out of the hunger of wanting to do something and work and, you know, be part of a project. And hats off to actors all across. It's very difficult to do that by yourself, especially when there's been no, you know, absolutely no heads up for that at all. So but I think features and all kinds of shoots have, you know, currently been, maybe we're now limping back to a little bit of normalcy, you know, looking like space astronauts with all our PPE uniforms and gloves and masks and everything, and you have to put, you know, stickers at the back to say whom you're talking to. So you turn somebody around and say, okay, this is the director, okay, this is the light man, okay, which is really, I mean, I'll send you guys pictures. That's how shoots are happening. So hopefully this by the end of this year. Also, I don't think things are really opening up in India, but we do have units which are traveling abroad to Europe or to the UK to shoot films which are little, you know, the population is less, so it's a little more controlled. In India, it's crazy. So yeah, I think hopefully by next year, I mean, Stefan, really, I you know, in India, we have a goddess of knowledge called Ma Saraswati, and we have a saying that once in a day, Ma Saraswati sits on your tongue, and whatever you speak at that time is, you know, happens. It comes true. So always speak something good, because, you know, you never know when she's sitting on your tongue. So I'm hoping Ma Saraswati was sitting on your tongue now when you said next year it should be in our festival, and I'll be there with you guys. Yeah.
And Jyoti, we have fantastic locations in Berlin and Germany too. You know,
I know. I know. Are you telling me I'm constantly pushing my producers to the extent that they're like, "Are you getting a commission from this? What is it?" So I think right now, though, I seriously, I think it's about the subsidies. I think UK has subsidies and a few other countries. So I'm hoping Germany and India have this, you know, tie-up, co-production tie-up, which will enable us to come and shoot there.
We have subsidies. So Don 2, for example, was shot with the help of Medienbordfilm.
Yes,
also the state of Berlin, the government of Berlin has given some money. So okay, but that was also because
we will have a chat, Stefan, offline after this is done. We'll immediately have a chat. I want all my ammunition, you know, to kind of give my producers and say, see, Germany, we should go there. Yeah. Ich bin ein Berliner. I love Berlin. So I'm like,
we should hurry up, because slowly also all the locations are filled with German or other shootings, because since mid-May we have begun shooting again.
Wow.
So but yeah, not all of it, you know, because the problem in Germany right now is that there is no insurance for the case that there's some corona case happens.
Correct.
To get insurance to get
in India we do that. So the producer association has got a provision for that. So we have that here, but I think the insurances basically will cover the unit, the Indian unit which will get covered by it.
So for the for the TV productions, which are 100% for TV, it's okay, because mostly there the TV station covers this, at least for a certain amount. But for the big productions is a problem. So all the big productions, I think, will start, or the cinema production and so on, will start shooting in September, because then the insurance will be there. That's the situation.
Stefan, even in here in India, the TV production, you have just minimal characters on screen now. They just have 3 characters, which are they're not crowding the screen anymore, and because of the COVID, and so the scenes are very minimal in terms of the actors. That's the thing.
Yeah. I have a question actually. I mean, this is a question which has been running in my mind since I was preparing for this interview. I mean, historically we and this is my understanding, and maybe I might be wrong here. We have big screen for big movies, and then the short film content was mainly online content that we had.
Yeah.
And now that line between the two worlds is actually diminishing. So the big movies are also coming on OTT platforms now, and some of the short movies are also making to big screen now. So now with this interchange of content that is happening, how do you see the progress of short films? Do you think that the big names of the big movies will somewhere take over the world of short films, or do you think that the content excellence of the content of the short films will actually give a good challenge to the big films? How do you see it? Maybe starting with Samir here.
So basically, see, I think that the way you look at it, there are a number of big name actors and directors who are trying their hand at short films and short format content. And I think what has happened with technology is that there is nothing like film or TV. It's just content, and those are just mediums. And content is getting medium agnostic. I think another thing also, because of the proliferation of the digital medium, what you're seeing is that content is also getting language agnostic. So Indians are watching Spanish content and Turkish content and Korean content like they would have never seen before, and vice versa.
Exactly.
So I think given that a lot of that movement is happening, and I think COVID has just kind of pushed the mainstream content much faster onto OTT. But I think the key remains is that the audience wants to consume good content, and they will consume it wherever you make it available. That said, I think the whole idea of short film traveling to a bigger screen is still, it's more of a pipe dream, so to say, for India. Now we've done that actually. We've released a few in partnership with PVR Wakao. We've released compilations commercially across 6 cities, or compilations of short films across 6 cities in India. And I'll be very honest, not a great response, because when one has to pay the same amount of money that they pay for watching a Shah Rukh Khan film, I think the question comes in that am I really going to get value? Because a short film, as you said, is a small packet, and they really don't know about the dhamaka till they actually go and consume it.
Yeah.
So, but I think what we're also seeing is that when you take it to a different format or a different screen, there is a new audience that we are reaching out to, who would probably typically not see that film on YouTube, but by the very fact that it is now available on a big screen gives them some kind of a pull factor, and they want to go and watch it over there. So as a distributor and as a entrepreneur, our focus is take the content wherever we see audience.
Okay.
I think we just move from that that approach and point of view.
Yeah. Thank you. And I mean, Jyoti, you have been involved with big movies as well as short films. What is your take on this one?
No, I completely agree. Samir said that, I mean, today, Shakuntala Devi, which is Vidya Balan's film, has dropped on Amazon. So it's, I mean, when you have and we've had Mr. Bachchan's film, coming onto, premiering on
Amazon Prime.
on an OTT platform. Yeah, so it's like, it's something which is the order of the day. I mean, now, there's no such prejudice. I think actors have very, very big actors have also played parts in short films, and they're okay with it. They've played parts in films which they know are going to come out on OTT channels. They know they've played parts in web series which they know will only be available on OTT channels. So there are people with their phones, or there are people with a humongous whatever inch TV in their living room. But finally, it is streaming.
Yeah.
So I don't think anymore there is this prejudice, or there is this thing about I will not do, where is this distributing, and what format is it coming on, what media is it coming on. I don't think any of that exists anymore. Even in the actor's head, even in the filmmaker's head, it's basically an opportunity. I keep coming back to that. If you have a really good story, the only call that you need to take is what kind of content am I making? Am I making a short film? Am I making a feature length film? Am I making a web series? Am I making a finite series? Is it something that can go into like 8 seasons? What is the potential of the story? And there again, then you come back to content is king, and
Exactly.
that's about it. And there's no other question after that. Then you cast and you fund and you produce and you do the best that you can for the story, whatever the story is demanding out of you.
No,
We're in a
thank
happy
you.
space. I think it's a very happy space to be in right now.
Yeah. Thank you, Jyoti. Shraddha, would you like to add something?
I'd say everybody's searching for good content to see, and we are crazy about, we are so bored in life that we cannot see just one kind of content, because every day if you see, every day you will remember some other line of a movie or some other song, and it's just you're attracted to different things at different points of time, and the short films offer that in abundance, and the OTT platform is like, it's like gold.
Yeah.
For these kind of this kind of content.
Yes. And I mean, I also personally believe that at the end, it's the content which matters. And when the content is good, I mean, yes, the content will win, because now it's the same platform where both the things are available. Good content will win in this part. So yes, for sure, it's a good news for overall industry, I would say. Yeah. Stefan?
Yeah.
Eine Frage, Stefan.
Angela?
Zuschauerfrage.
Ja, es gibt eine Zuschauerfrage.
Yeah, so Michael from the audience is asking, hi, thank you all for taking part in this talk. My question is, are festivals like the Berlin Interfilm Short Film Festival interesting for Indian short film makers? Maybe this is a question to Samir.
Festivals like
No,
Berlin,
the Interfilm, this is I think the Interfilm Festival is the biggest international short film festival. It happens in Berlin, also at the same theater at the Babylon.
Yeah, I'm not really sure whether they are really looking specifically for Indian films. I mean, I know I've spoken to Heinz and I'd met him when I'd come down to Berlin. So they're not specifically looking for Indian films, but at the end of the day, a festival will always take a good film. So if they really like a film, they will take it. I don't think they have anything against Indian films, but they're definitely not gunning for Indian short films in that sense.
Actually, I think the question is the other way around. Are festivals like the Berlin Interfilm Short Film Festivals interesting for Indian short filmmakers? So are the people who are making short films?
Oh, of course. Sorry, then I misunderstood the question. But of course, if you make a good film, I would say definitely look at the Interfilm Festival, because it is one of the biggest film festivals, at least in Europe. And you must definitely reach out to them and submit your films to them, because they also have a very good plan, I think, once your film has been to the festival, in terms of providing distribution opportunities.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we need to come to an end. So our hour is over. Thank you so much. Thank you, Shraddha. Thank you,
so
Jyoti.
much, Stefan, for inviting me. It was great.
Definitely. And thanks, Jyoti. Thanks, Samir. Thanks, Raman and Anjana. And next week, we will talk about films for kids and youth. We will have Jitendra Mishra as a guest. And hope to see you all soon. Hope to see you soon in Berlin.
Yes.
In Berlin, yes. We all look forward to that.
Yes. And I mean, thank you also from Apna Frankfurt side for taking all the time for the talk. Really enjoyed the talk. And thank you very much.
Thank you, Raman.
Thank you, guys.
Thank
Pleasure
you.
being here.
Guys.
Bye. See you.
Bye.
Auf Wiedersehen. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
अपना Frankfurt, Tennessee.